It was a Thursday evening when Daniel received the text. His wife, Emily, had messaged him around 7:45 p.m., "Working late, big deadline tonight. Don't wait up." He trusted her. She was a senior project manager at a marketing firm and often had late nights. But something about the way she added, "Don't wait up," made his chest tighten. He brushed the thought away, trying not to sound paranoid, and focused on finishing dinner alone. As the night went on, Daniel poured himself some coffee and sat down in front of the TV. The empty silence of their home started to feel heavier than usual. Emily was usually good about checking in, a short call, maybe a quick selfie from her desk, but not tonight. By 10 p.m., his concern grew. He decided to surprise her with dinner the next evening to make up for how distant things had felt lately. But before going to bed, something unexpected crossed his mind. Emily's office had recently installed new security cameras, and she'd shown him a few of them on her phone app one evening. They'd laughed about how high-tech the company had become. Daniel still had the app on his phone because he helped her set it up for remote viewing. Out of curiosity, he told himself it was just that. He opened the app to check if she was still working. The feed loaded slowly, showing the quiet corridors of the office. The cleaning staff had already gone. Then he switched to the main workspace camera. To his surprise, her desk light was off. He switched to another angle, near the meeting room, and froze. There she was. Emily, sitting at the edge of the conference table, laughing softly. Across from her was her colleague, Ryan, the same man who had joined her team 6 months ago. They were close enough that there was no mistaking the intimacy in their body language. He wasn't touching her, but his hand rested on the table near hers, and she didn't move away. Daniel felt a cold wave of disbelief sweep through him. For a long moment, he just watched. Maybe it was innocent, he thought. Maybe they were working on a presentation. But then he saw her take off her blazer, lean forward, and whisper something that made Ryan smile in a way that didn't belong in an office. The clock on the screen showed 10:37 p.m., long after everyone else had gone home. Daniel's hands trembled. He closed the app immediately, his heart pounding. His thoughts blurred together, anger, sadness, confusion. But instead of confronting her right away, he decided to wait. He needed to be sure, to see what kind of truth would come out of her own mouth. At 11:15, the sound of the door unlocking snapped him back to reality. Emily stepped in, tired and calm, dropping her purse by the counter. "Long night," she sighed, forcing a weary smile. "We finally finished the campaign proposal." Daniel nodded, pretending to be half asleep on the couch. "Good," he murmured. "Glad you're done." She kissed his cheek lightly before heading upstairs to shower. He didn't say a word about what he'd seen. But his chest burned with silent questions. That night, he barely slept, staring at the ceiling, trying to understand where their marriage had begun to crack. The next morning, he made breakfast and acted normal. Emily chatted casually about her meeting schedule, completely unaware that Daniel had seen everything. After she left for work, he sat down at the table and opened his laptop. He replayed the office footage again. It wasn't his imagination. It wasn't professional. It was something more, something she had hidden behind the words, "big deadline." Daniel decided not to confront her with anger. Instead, he printed a few screenshots from the security footage and placed them inside an envelope. That evening, he dropped by her office without warning. Her team was gone for the day, and she was alone, typing away. "Hey," he said softly, standing at the door. Her face brightened at first, then froze when she saw the envelope in his hand. "What's that?" she asked cautiously. Daniel placed it on her desk. "Proof," he said quietly. "You texted me about a deadline. I just didn't know the project included Ryan." Her eyes widened, her breath catching. "Daniel, it's not what you think," she began, but the tremble in her voice gave her away. He didn't shout. He simply looked at her, tired, heartbroken, but calm. "I loved you enough to believe every word you said," he whispered. "But you gave me a reason to stop believing." She tried to explain, saying it was just emotional support, late-night brainstorming, harmless closeness. But he had already seen the truth, the kind that no excuse could clean. Daniel left the office without another word. That night, he packed a small bag and went to stay at his brother's place. He didn't tell her he was leaving. She found out when she came home to an empty house and a note on the table, "The cameras don't lie, Emily. People do." In the weeks that followed, Emily tried to reach him, apologizing, claiming nothing physical had happened. Maybe she was telling the truth about that part, but Daniel realized that betrayal didn't always need touch. Sometimes it began with laughter shared in the dark, behind a locked door, under the excuse of work. By the time she finally understood the weight of what she'd done, Daniel had already filed for separation. Trust, once cracked, doesn't heal with words. He wasn't angry anymore, just free. He deleted the office camera app from his phone, closed that chapter, and walked into a quieter, lonelier, but more honest life.